And welcome back, YouTube land, to another Let's Play of Falhagar in Skyrim. So we're picking up where we left off, right in front of the door to the, the Greybeard Temple, or what is it called? High Hrothgar. Oh, okay, the building is just called High Hrothgar. Okay, right in front of the door of High Hrothgar. Okay. So I checked back the audio of, the audio levels of my voice and the volume of the game, and it seems like it's pretty even, very well balanced in a way where my voice is still picking up like nice and loud, I guess, but at the same time not overpowering the audio, and the audio can still be heard perfectly, the effects, the voices of the characters, so it's much better that way. So when you raise the volume to hear the effects, my voice comes out at a pretty high level, not super high, but so that you can still actually hear me. Let's go in, and we dropped off. I think his name is Klimek supplies out in that chest. By the way, I lowered the bitrate to 8,000, so hopefully that will help, so it won't. The frame rate will stay much more steady.
So,
hello.
A Dragonborn appears at this moment in the turning of the age.
So you call me Dragonborn. What does all this entail?
First, let us see if you truly are Dragonborn. Let us taste of your voice.
Oh, okay. You mean this?
False! Dragonborn, it is you.
So I had to hurt you to prove myself.
I am Master Arngir. I speak for the Greybeards. Now, tell me, Dragonborn, why have you come here?
I'm answering your summons, Master. Well, first off, well, you told me who you are, but who are you, and what is this place exactly?
We are the Greybeards, followers of the Way of the Voice. You stand in High Hrothgar, the slopes of Kinnarith's sacred mountain. Here we commune with the voice of the sky and strive to achieve balance between our inner and outer selves.
Wow. Well, I would like to know what it means to be Dragonborn. Perhaps you guys can help. So I was told.
We are here to guide you in that pursuit, just as the Greybeards have sought to guide those of the dragon blood that came before you.
So I'm not the only one.
You are not the first. There have been many of the dragon blood since Akatosh first bestowed that gift upon mortal kind. Whether you are the only dragonborn of this age, that is not ours to know.
Really?
You are the only one that has been revealed thus far. That is all I can say.
Okay, well, ready to learn.
You have shown that you are dragonborn. You have the inborn gift. But do you have the discipline and temperament to follow the path laid out for you? That remains to be seen. Without training, you have already taken the first steps towards projecting your voice into a thum, a shout. Now let us see if you are willing and able to learn. When you shout, you speak in the language of dragons. Thus, your dragon blood gives you an inborn ability to learn words of power. All shouts are made up of 3 words of power. As you master each word, your shout will become progressively stronger. Master Einarth will now teach you Ro, the second word in Unrelenting Force. Ro means balance.
So in a way, like
dragon tongue.
3 words or syllables.
With Fus, force, to focus your thumb more sharply.
Roll. Like in Game of Thrones. Dracarys. Dracarys, which means fire, according to Game of Thrones lore. So Dracarys. In a way, though, you can look at it as Dracarys as being one word. Great.
But learning a word of
Oh no. I think I have to raise the actual audio of the voice by a little bit. Okay. That's good.
only the first step. You must unlock its meaning through constant practice in order to use it in a shout.
Okay.
Well, that is how the rest of us learn shouts. As Dragonborn, you can absorb a slain dragon's life force and knowledge directly.
Okay, this I know.
As part of your initiation, Master Einarth will allow you to tap into his understanding of role.
Thank you, Mr. Arnett.
How quick you can master your new thumb. Use your unrelenting force shout to strike the targets as they appear.
Force roll!
Better move there, Berlina.
Well done. Again.
Force roll!
Sorry about that, gentlemen.
You learn quickly. Once more.
Force roll!
Okay, great.
Impressive. Your thumb is precise. You show great promise, Dragonborn.
Thank you.
We will perform your next trial in the courtyard. Follow Master Bori.
Okay. Bori. Ah, it must be Bori. It's dark in here, don't you think, gentlemen? Get more torches. It's starting to get really hot in here, guys, and hot outside that I have to have the fan on now, but hopefully it's not interfering. I don't think it is. I have it so it's picking up the mic. My Yeti mic is picking up sound from the front of me.
We will now see how you learn a completely new shout. Master Bori will teach you Wood, which means whirlwind.
Wood.
You must hear the word within yourself before you can project it into a thumb.
Whirlwind.
Approach.
And I'm sure you're going to want me to use this. Oh, okay.
Master Bori, and he will gift you his knowledge of wood.
Thank you.
Now we will see how quickly you can... a new shout.
Sure.
Master Wulfgar will demonstrate whirlwind sprint. Then it will be your turn.
Ulfgar.
Master Bori. Rex.
Very nice. Let me try.
Your turn. Stand next to me. Master Bori will open the gate. Use your whirlwind sprint to pass
Got this.
through
Got
before
this.
it closes.
Got this. Yes. go again. Let's go again.
Your quick mastery of a new Thum is astonishing.
Thank you.
I'd heard the stories of the abilities of Dragonborn, but to see it for myself.
Thank you. Now what?
You are now ready for your last trial.
Okay.
Retrieve the horn of Jürgen Windcaller, our founder, from his tomb in the ancient fane of Ustengrav.
Right.
Remain true to the way of the voice. You will return.
Okay. It's a good thing I read all those tablets on my way up here, because I kind of know a little bit of the history of Jürgen Windcaller. Something to do with me. Why are shouts in the dragon language? Speaking of shouts, why is it in the dragon tongue?
Dragons have always been able to shout. Language is intrinsic to their very being. There is no difference in the dragon tongue between debating and fighting. Shouting comes as naturally to a dragon as breathing or speaking.
Mm-hmm.
In mythic times, when mortal kind was in great need, the goddess Kinnereth granted us the ability to speak as dragons do. For most people, long years of training are required to learn even the simplest shout. But for you, the dragon speech is in your blood, and you learn it almost without effort.
Wow. So tell me about you guys, about the Greybeards.
We study the way of the voice, according to the teachings of our founder, Jürgen Windcaller. Very few are permitted to study with us here at High Hrothgar. But in your case, Dragonborn, it is a privilege to guide you towards mastery of your voice.
Thank you. Wow. Well, I know about Jürgen, so I don't really have to ask about him. There are only 4 of you?
5. Our leader, Parthenax,
Parthenax.
lives alone on the peak of the throat of the world. When your voice can open the path,
Yeah, we'll
you
be
will
ready
know
to speak
you are
to
ready
him.
to speak to him.
And he's got a special word to teach us. So we're going to meet him.
As I said, you will know you are ready when your voice can open the path to him.
Cryptic, but I know what it means. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for your help. I shall return.
Wind, guide you.
And you know what? I think right here. Sorry. Okay. This looks like a cozy enough spot. To get a... Hey, Berlina, you want to sit down somewhere? To delve into this book. Unless... I believe I gave it to Berlina,
right
right?
behind you.
Give her all the books.
I'm a mage, not a pawnbroker, you know.
The Book of the Dragonborn. Here we go.
Let's...
It's a good time to kind of read up on Dragonborn, because now it's a bit more personal to me, right? The Book of the Dragonborn by Prior Emmeline Madrin, Order of Talos, Winin Priory. And I'm playing through again Oblivion as a Khajiit named Batrax, who is going to be joining the Dark Brotherhood. Year 360 of the Third Era, 21st of the reign of His Majesty Pelagius IV. Many people have heard the term Dragonborn We are, of course, ruled by the Dragonborn Emperors, but the true meaning of the term is not commonly understood. For those of us in the Order of Talos, this is a subject near and dear to our hearts, and in this book I will attempt to illuminate the history and significance of those known as Dragonborn down through the ages. Most scholars agree that the term was first used in connection with the Covenant of Akatosh, when the blessed Saint Alessia was given the amulet of kings and the dragonfires in the temple of the One were first lit. Akatosh, looking with pity upon the plight of men, drew precious blood from his own heart, and blessed Saint Alessia with this blood of dragons, and made a covenant that so long as Alessia's generations were true to the dragon blood, Akatosh would endeavor to seal tight the gates of Oblivion, close shut the gates of Oblivion, and to deny the armies of Daedra and undead to their enemies. The Daedra-loving Alliads, those blessed by Akatosh with the dragon blood, become known more simply as Dragonborn. The connection with the rulers of the empire was thus there from the beginning. Only those of the dragon blood were able to wear the amulet of kings and light the dragon fires. All the legitimate rulers of the empire have been Dragonborn. I know Uriel Septim, or Tiber Septim, empire have been Dragonborn, the emperors and empresses of the first Cyrodiilic Empire founded by Alessia. Riman Cyrodiil, I remember him, and his heirs, and of course Tiber Septim and his heirs, down to our current emperor, His Majesty Pelagius Septim IV. Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured and largely forgotten by all but scholars and those of us dedicated to the service of the blessed Talos. Who was Tiber Septim? Because of this connection with the emperors, however, the other significance of the Dragonborn has been obscured. Okay. Very few realize that being Dragonborn is not a simple matter of heredity. Being the blessing of Akatosh himself, it is beyond our understanding exactly how and why it is bestowed. Those who become emperor and light the dragonfires are surely Dragonborn. The proof is in the wearing of the amulet and the lighting of the fires. But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do these things, or was the doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them? But were they Dragonborn and thus able to do this, or was the doing the sign of the blessing of Akatosh descending upon them? All that we can say is that it is both and neither, a divine mystery. The line of Septims have all been Dragonborn, of course, which is one reason the simplistic notion of it being hereditary has become so commonplace. But we know for certain that the early Cyrodiilic rulers were not all related. There is also no evidence that Riman Cyrodiil was descended from Alessia, although there are many legends that would make it so, most of them dating from the time of Riman and likely attempts to legitimize his rule. We know that the Blades, usually thought of as the Emperor's bodyguards, originated in Akaveri, crusaders who invaded Tamriel for obscure reasons in the late First Era. They appear to have been searching for a Dragonborn. The events at Pale Pass bear this out, and Akaveri were the first to proclaim Riman Cyrodiil as Dragonborn. In fact, it was Akavari who did the most to promote his standing as emperor, although Riman himself never took that title in his lifetime. And of course, there is no known hereditary connection between Tiber Septim and any of the previous Dragonborn rulers of Tamriel. Whether there can be more than one Dragonborn at any time is another mystery. Because there's a part in the game where there are a bunch of... Maybe they just had the power of the voice, but weren't necessarily Dragonborn, but doesn't having the voice make you Dragonborn? The emperors have done their best to dismiss this notion, but of course the imperial succession itself means that at the very least there are 2 or more potential dragonborn at any time. The current ruler and his or her heirs. The history of the Blades also hints at this, although little is known of their activities during the interregnum between Riemann's empire and the rise of Tiber's septum. Many believe that the Blades continued to search out and guard those they believe were or might be dragonborn during this time. And that's what the Blades do. Lastly, we come to the question of the true meaning of being dragonborn. The connection with dragons is so obvious that it has almost been forgotten. In these days when dragons are a distant memory, we forget that in the early days being dragonborn meant having the dragon blood. Some scholars believe that was meant quite literally, although the exact significance is not known. The Nords tell tales of dragonborn heroes who were great dragon slayers, able to steal the power of the dragons they killed. Indeed, it is well known that the Akavari sought out and killed many dragons during their invasion, and there is some evidence that this continued after they become Riemann Cyrodiil's Dragon Guard. Again, the connection to dragons, the direct predecessor to the Blades of today. I leave you with what is known as the prophecy of the Dragonborn. It often said to originate in an Elder Scroll, although it is sometimes also attributed to the ancient Akavari. Many have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens, and plus when you read a Elder Scroll, it makes you go blind sometimes. I believe that's why you need a I forgot, there's just a certain order that is able to, a certain order of monk that can read it, have attempted to decipher it, and many have also believed that its omens had been fulfilled, and that the advent of the last Dragonborn was at hand. I make no claims as an interpreter of prophecy, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place at the 8 corners of the world, when the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, these are the I make no claim, but it does suggest that the true significance of Akatosh's gift to mortal kind has yet to be fully understood. When misrule takes its place and at the 8 corners of the world, so I guess something like that civil war between the Empire and the Stormcloaks, something like that. When the brass tower walks and time is reshaped, when the thrice blessed fail and the red tower trembles, when the thrice blessed failed and the red tower trembles, when the dragonborn ruler loses his throne and the white tower falls, when the snow tower lies sundered, kingless, bleeding, the world eater wakes and the wheel turns upon the last dragonborn, the world eater being Alduin. Great book. Great book indeed.